What's up? It's JusNik, WBLS, and we have yet another artist falling through the WBLS studio. This guy is one of my good friends. I've known him for some years now, you know what I'm saying? And when I tell you he's one of the hardest working artists in this industry, from producing to songwriting to being an artist himself to engineering, this man does it all right, and it's easy for him, you know what I'm saying? He does this with his eyes closed. Eric Bellinger,
Yo,
EB.
it's easy.
You know what I'm
What's
saying?
up?
Eric B for president.
Yeah, I like that. That was nice. I appreciate that, man. I've been working.
You stay working so much so that, how many albums do you have now?
37.
Eric,
37.
how do you have 37 out?
You know,
I can't think of any other artist that has as many projects.
Yeah, man. I just make so much music that it's kind of like, why not? Not why. You know, when I'm dropping and it's like, okay, the fans is already like, when's the next one? And I'm like, well, I got it. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Right. And it come, do you find being a songwriter that it does come easy for you? Like,
yeah, that's the cheat code. I think being able to write the songs. A lot of artists be waiting for the songs, you know, like, period. Simple as that. But if you're the songwriter, it's like, you got the supply, you know, why not?
yeah. So do you find that it's harder being a singer-songwriter, trying to get into that mainstream lane of just being that artist? Because first of all, we can talk about how many artists you've worked with, right? You work with everybody, damn near. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a second. But,
Okay.
you know, it's kind of like the issue that Kanye had where he was trying to separate himself from being a producer. You know, Tank, love him. For the longest, he couldn't get that, you know, record on radio where it was consistent and it was like, yo, I'm Tank, like I can sing and he really can go. And it's like, give this man his flowers. And then all of a sudden it clicked. And you know what I'm saying? Like he's popping.
Yeah.
So do you find that, you know, 37 albums, it's a lot. And you're still going, which means obviously this is your passion. This is what you love doing. It's for you.
Exactly.
Do you ever feel like, you know what, I'm going to just, you know, it might not happen or...
Well, it just depends because it already happened.
Right.
Like, so it's about how people look at it. So for me, it's just been like, I'm where I want to be family-wise, finance-wise, fatherhood-wise. And even in my fans, it's kind of like you said, it's like, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You know, it's not too crazy where it's like hectic going to the airport, you know what I mean? But if it's like an Eric Bellinger show, we're gonna go, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just look at it like I'm doing what I love, but I also do feel like when you're a songwriter and people are introduced to you, that it could be anything. It could be a photographer. If you was a photographer for 5 years,
right,
and then you was like, hey, I think I'm gonna start doing blank, everybody look at you like you crazy, you know, because it's like, you want me to believe in another talent of yours, you know? So I think when people see the songwriter, they get used to the songwriter. They get used to you doing a job. They get used to you being of service. They get used to you pull up in the studio in sweatpants, maybe with a hole in them because you ain't trying to be fly. But the A&R walk in, they looking for superstar status, you know what I mean? And I look at it like, if you want to be famous, and then you shouldn't be a songwriter for other artists. Because no matter what, they're going to see the songwriter. Like, every label is like, there goes the songwriter. We need you to work for our artists, period. We can't benefit off you.
Right. Well, you know, you're always, you seem like the type where you're just going to do you regardless, right? And you've been in this industry long enough where you know that the labels and the powers that be, sometimes they try to create superstars and they might not be as talented as someone like yourself who literally does this. You know what I'm saying? Do you find that, I mean, because you're independent, but when you were signed, were they trying to make you something you didn't want to be and you're like, you know what?
Never signed. I never did a deal.
Oh, you never signed? So why not? Is it because of that?
I think it's because in the beginning it started off like, oh, that's a songwriter. But I never took meetings with labels to even know. But I just knew nobody was knocking with a number that was worth my while. So I just kind of kept pushing. And then when people did start calling, it was like, I'm already where I'm already good now. Like, you want me to sign to you and give you half of everything? Like, it just didn't really make sense. But I think it just depends where each person is individually in their career. Had my writing not been as successful, maybe I would have been way more focused on my artistry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's just talk about that because your writing is phenomenal. Okay, and
Lucky for lucky for me.
you have the platinums to show. Is it
Yeah.
double platinum?
We got platinum. We got even my albums even is gold. So we got
Whew.
my albums is gold. Then I got songs that I've written for other artists that's platinum, double plat. Like On Chill is double platinum. You know, and that's
Listen.
just one song.
That's exactly like we can go through the list. Literally, you can wiki or Google Eric Bellinger, and it's. I'm gonna give you your flowers because
you.
I see what you're doing, right? And even if the goal, at one point was to be like a Chris Brown, which you have wrote many songs and hits for him, which contribute to his success,
Yeah.
which is crazy because they reap the full benefits of it, and you're in the background. And I don't know the percentage of songwriters and stuff, but obviously they need to give you guys a little
Yeah.
bit more respect in that field.
Yeah.
But do you? I feel like you will be in the history books, right?
Yeah.
You're not
It's
gonna have a
crazy.
choice but
Yeah,
to.
it's crazy because when people pass away and then it'd be like everybody come out the woodworks, the supporters, the fans, the undercover, like if Eric Bellinger was to be gone, it would be a worldwide celebration of music, of humanity, of, the type of person I am, like the interviews, the things that I've been saying. But, people ain't going to do their research like that unless they have a reason to. And I feel like with Curious, like this is like the first record we've really pushed as far as like hard, like going crazy, radio runs, promo. And I think this song is going to be reason enough as long as we keep pushing and, for people to tap in, because if it's not mainstream, top 5, number 1, a lot of people is busy going to work, taking care of their own family. So,
Right.
My music has been more so like a discovery thing, you know what I mean? Like the underground vibe, and I've been good with it. I just don't compare myself, so I never have been like people like, "Are you underrated?" I'm like, I couldn't be underrated. Like my life is better than a lot of people. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
may be underrated to you because you don't know me, but ask, you know what I mean? The 2,000 people at the sold out show, if I'm underrated, like ask them,
Oh, listen, and if you haven't been to an Eric Bellinger show, you're missing out because this man performs and he got vocals, he got skills. Like your background, you obviously have a Christian background,
Yeah.
because the runs, it's giving
Church.
church.
It's big Kimberell energy. It's
Facts.
big Kiki Shear energy, big Brandy, and those are the people that I listen to. So to me, that's the standard. Like that's the standard. It's supposed to sound like that, So me doing those things in my record is only thing I know. The runs, the harmonies, the arrangements, and when people don't do it, I really feel like it's just because they don't know how. Like
Yeah,
ain't nobody
true.
know how to do it all and they ain't doing it. I think we in a shortage of talent when it comes to the ability to do like the gymnastics type stuff, like Jasmine Sullivan. Like Jasmine Sullivan is gonna give you
Go.
everything you need, but it ain't too many Jasmine Sullivans, and it just is what it is.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I always have the discussion about who will have the longevity, like the Mariahs,
Yeah.
the Whitneys. Do we even have that anymore, or are we
Yeah.
so oversaturated that?
Nah, it's gonna be the talented ones. Like I've been doing this for 13 years and I'm still getting booked off the charts
Yeah.
because I could sing. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to 10 years from now, like the artists that are viral because something that they did, maybe they did a challenge or something, like the challenge won't be relevant in 10 years, but this voice will,
That's right.
That's
right. So let's talk about the project. Okay. So you have several projects out right now.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to focus on.
Line
So
2, 1-800-HIT-EASY, Line 2. The newest album is out now. Shout out Hitmaker. Shout out everybody that worked on the project. All the features, man. We got Blast, Kaylin For Real, Tink, Money Long,
Wow.
Corday, Fabulous. And it's just nothing but great music from beginning to end.
It is, and you're so good at that. And I think because it comes easy, which I'm going to be saying a lot for those of you who don't know the easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Get on. It's easy. So I just feel like it comes so naturally for you as far as like how you create the music, the melodies, the hooks. It's always so catchy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's my word. That's my favorite word in the studio. Catchy. Like, is it catchy? It's not
Yeah.
catchy enough. Is it catchy? When I stop the song, I got to do that test. Like, all right, stop the song and get on my phone real quick and see if somebody hums the melody in the room. Nobody hum the melody? It's not catchy enough. For real. I be doing little tests like that. Nobody will know. It'll be a song that nobody ever heard because I didn't get the right reaction in the studio I wanted.
so how many songs do you work on before you decide to put it on the album?
Yeah. It's different. This album currently, I did like 25 songs. Pick 14. My album before that, New Light, I did like 80 songs. You know what I mean? Like I was going for something.
So what are you gonna do with the
On that
excess?
last one.
Is put like a compilation together later, or
It's crazy. I got over 1,000 unreleased songs. I don't know if you've seen that meme where the dude had a big old red backpack.
Yeah,
It was like all my unreleased songs. That's me. You know, I really have that many songs, and I think they'll come out at some point when it's time. You know, I write songs faster than I can even put them out.
You really do.
I
That's
do,
a lot
for
of
sure.
songs. Like clearly, this is your passion. So, with that, because you're into other things too. I heard that you're signing artists.
Yes, most definitely. We got All Wins ENT, got 8 artists signed, and I've been focusing on that a lot behind the scenes as well. Because it gets to the point where it's like, once you're doing so much for other people, and it's like, why not build an infrastructure? Why not put a platform together where we can help artists, you know, and everybody that we work with is just about them being great, them being talented. I'm not looking at a verified check. I'm not looking for streams already. I'm not looking for you to be viral. I'm just looking for people that work hard and really got that thing. You know what I mean? That it. Back in the day, they said it.
That's right. That je ne sais quoi.
Yes, exactly.
And the vocal skills too, which is why I know if you put a stamp on or co-sign something, that person can really blow because you understand.
Exactly. They need to write too. Artists got to write. Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Because if you're not writing your own studio, then you're going to need me to come write it. I don't want to have to. I will. But the point is to have a self-running. I should be able to be in New York interviewing, and somebody's at the studio right now making a song. So that when I get back, they can say, look what I did. I did these 3 songs. I want to put out a little 3 to 5 song EP. Now I can get in with you, finish the other 2. But I need people to definitely, you know, be proactive and just have talent and want it. Because, you know, once you want it more than somebody else, it's time to clock out.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
So as a songwriter, do you feel like every now and then it's necessary for an artist to have other people work on their projects? Because what I find is that the singer-songwriter, sometimes you can sound the same. Like you have this sound. And
it's important.
You know, the internet judges everything. They be like, oh, I heard this before. It sounds...
I'm always with that, you know, because for me as a songwriter, I think I've done enough to where I don't need to prove it. Like, I can really write. Y'all watch. Like, I'm over that. Like, y'all know what time it is with this pen. You know.
Yes.
So if somebody send me a song that's fire, I'm cutting it right away. Especially because I want to feel what it feel like to get a hit dropped off in your lap. Like, you know what I mean? I'm tired of dropping off hits. Can somebody drop me one off, please?
That part. So speaking of your pen, what's an artist or who's an artist that you wrote for that nobody would expect?
Selena Gomez, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, that was like one of my first placements was Selena Gomez. Intuition. Song was called Intuition.
You in your Latino vibes?
You know
you
what I'm
speak
saying?
Espanol?
Hello, español. ¿Cómo se dice?
That's super fire. That's super dope.
Yeah, man.
So, going back to kind of how you started, I know you've had these conversations, but I read somewhere that you worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we all come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
I do want to let you know that I worked at Chuck E. Cheese as well.
What?
I was Chucky. I was in the red outfit. Was you in
Yeah, I was in the suit.
Listen, smelled horrible.
Sweaty.
Okay, never washed. These folks didn't wash it, but we was in there.
I needed my minimum wage. I was in there. The big moves, smiling in the mask on the pictures like they could see me.
Was you dancing?
Harlem Shake was cold.
Harlem,
cold. It was cold.
Listen.
Back in the day, it had just got popping. It was like, we want the dancing Chucky. They started requesting me. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't me in the suit, the parties wasn't as active. It's okay.
But you still was around somehow musically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even with being Chucky, it showed that it was innate. It was in you.
It was in me, the entertainment aspect.
Now, was there ever a time where you felt like you didn't want to do this, and what would you have done?
Music? Nah, man. I mean, in the beginning, before I was doing music, I definitely wanted to be an architect. I love drawing. I love, coming to New York and seeing all these buildings that are like slanted and I'll be out there looking at like, hey, what you looking at? The building, bro. You don't see that?
Right.
The ratio of the glass to the to the poles and like that is something that intrigues me. Astronaut. I wanted to be an astronaut. It was three A's. It was astronaut, an artist, and an architect. So,
I can see the astronaut because you be out of this world.
I be out of this world. If you see the Rebirth 2 cover, you see I got the full Astro suit. And I just think I'm super into like exploring, like what else? Like I get what we can see, but there's more than meets the eye,
So is there something that you want to achieve that you feel like you haven't yet?
Yeah, I need my own number ones. My own. I done wrote number ones for a lot of artists, but I think I never really gave myself the necessary time, push, and just consistency on one song. Like by the time one song start going up, we usually on to the next album. And I think that's maybe one thing that was a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because fans love that they can count on me for new music. When people have a favorite artist and they never drop, it's kind of like, why you never drop? Now you never drop. But my fans is like, we love that you always drop. But at the same time, now there's really, like you said, what do we focus on? You know what I mean? So, as a new artist, usually people only got one song. It's like, we're going to run this into the ground, But for me, it's just like you said, what should we talk about? I'm like, Wheel of Fortune, spin the wheel. Let's see.
So when it comes to your projects, do you think that you would is there a number that you would stop at? Or you're just good?
Lil Wayne had 55 mixtapes, so
you're going to keep going.
I'm going to keep going. Like Future, same thing. T-Pain, then people put out so much music. I feel like if you got it, if you can do it, why not? Because some people really wish they could, but they just can't.
Well, I feel very strongly like your number one is coming.
Me too.
Because you're just too good at it, right?
I'm not stopping. I'm too consistent for people. Like once you can't write me off. It's like, bro, I'm gonna come with another one. I got more songs that's better than everything on my album. I got songs that are better than anything I've ever released that are not out. And it's by choice. On?
Oh, okay.
It's by choice. I just want to expand it. Like I got time. I'm not in a rush. I'm like, these songs is fire. Put these out. But I know that they're catchy rather than them deep records that I got. Like thought-provoking records. If people are ready, yeah, I'm going to drop it. But at the same time, everything around the record has to be ready. Like, I'm not into dropping records just to drop them. If we doing it, it's all intentional. It's all for a reason. Yeah. And yeah, man, Eric Bellinger ain't going nowhere. Like
he's not.
I'm finna be like, you know what I'm saying? 50 years old, dropping, looking just as good as I look right now because I'm in the gym and I'm drinking water and I'm doing everything proper. I'm exercising. I'm not out doing too much stuff. I feel like when you have a support system, when you in a relationship and when you got a family, it's really hard to be distracted from taking care of those things and maintaining everything that you have. So it's like my focus level is through the roof. So now it's just about timing. And once I stopped rushing, I started being more happy.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that because you are a family man. How do you balance it all?
Man, I look at it like I'm not here for me. Eric Bellinger, I got my life off. I already feel like I did enough to be like, that was my life, So that puts me in a place where I'm on a schedule. I'm on the calendar. Like, what do we have to do? Okay, that's the schedule. I'm just going through it the same way as if you in a gym. When you in a gym, you I got to do 5 sets of 10. And you don't think about, I'm not thinking about the first set, the last set. I'm just thinking about my day that I'm enjoying. It's not about, it's this is what I'm doing now. Before this, I was at another interview. It's I'm not thinking about how much I'm doing. I'm just, like they say, don't count the days, make the days count.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So you're present. It sounds like you're
so present. It's where we at, what we doing, and I'm there at that moment, 100%.
Yes.
And I never get tired of it.
And then I read that you do yoga, or is it
Yes,
meditation, or both?
both. Sometimes together, sometimes separate. Shout out to the pandemic. It's the best thing that I got out of it was
Really?
meditating and yoga and routine. You know, just because like we ain't doing nothing else. What we gonna do? Can't go nowhere. You know, and man, it's crazy because I started doing it with my son. Like, yo, let's meditate, and then now he still does it too. And me and wifey still be on the yoga vibes.
I
And
love you two's
amazing.
relationship.
It's amazing.
It just seems like you understand communication.
Yeah.
And that in a sense you over communicate. And I feel like that's necessary, especially being in this industry where, you know, temptation is around and just to be honest, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? After being with somebody for years, you're gonna get on each other's nerves, you're gonna get bored. But I think what would you say keeps you two strong and together?
We choose each other every day. You know what I mean? Like regardless, like we argue for sure. We have our disagreements, but we wrote a song. Me and Lamaya, the only song we got together is called "Agree to Disagree." You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Like, and that's our relationship because, you know, I've learned that I'm one person, she's one person, and even when we got married 8 years ago, I'm totally different. Like I'm a different person, 100%. And you know, she loves this version. I love her new version. We chose each other every time. When you get mad at somebody, you can choose to go and sleep with somebody else, or you can choose to stay committed. It's a choice. It's like which one you want to do. And I always chose love, and I think because of that, love always chose me. It always, you know what I mean? Like I'm always in a position where, you know, once the moment passes, and we let the anger out, and we let time pass, we usually come back like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I love you. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And I don't know, man. I think it's her. It's just her. Like it had to be her. Every other girl, like.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
You know?
There's nothing out here in these streets, right? Like you
Nah,
let
for
these
real.
fellas know.
It's crazy out here. If you got somebody special, you gotta hold on to them. You know, you got to, because you don't know these new humans that we got. This new batch that has been dropped off. That has been, what's the word? Like just led astray from social media. You know, like it's just so much negativity, and I look at it like, man, if you want love, it is out there, but you gotta want it, and you gotta choose it, and you gotta, like I said, choose it every day. Like we really choose each other every day. Our anniversary is January 1st, so when New Year's comes around, we renewing the year, but we're renewing our love too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, listen, from a grown man, all right, fellas, take notes. And shout out to your wife because she's on her acting game.
Yes.
She's still singing, sounding beautiful.
Yes, thank
so,
you.
Shout out to wifey. Respect,
Yes,
respect.
yes, love you, baby.
So speaking of the internet, how much do you feel like they have control over how successful an artist can be? Because cancel culture is real.
It's crazy. You gotta stay in your lane. You know, I think that's a real thing, like cancel culture. But I feel like the people that get canceled is the people that be just trying too hard, doing too much, looking for clout, saying something stupid. It just always backfire. I ain't never seen nobody try to pop their shit and be successful with it. You pop your shit and somebody screenshot it, zoomed in, and you had a pee stain on your pants. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Right.
always something. Like you should have just shut up. Like so like once people like be feeding and fishing for that attention, most likely they get it, but it's not the attention they wanted.
That part. And then you have that, whatever that was, it stays with you. So that's all people know about you.
The pee stain.
Yeah.
We remember that.
Yeah.
Like I get it, going viral. Like that's a new thing. Like it changes all the time. But man, you gotta understand that whatever you go viral for and whatever you're introduced as, that's what you're gonna be remembered as.
Yeah.
And
think about the corporate money. They can't really take you seriously, but
exactly.
I digress. But shout out to you because you've stayed out of all of that. I mean, I think you had a little beef somewhere.
Somebody had beef with me.
Short lived.
yeah. I did what I needed to do, and it was over.
Oh my god. Yeah, you made a whole the whole song.
Yeah, I had to. I said, "Did you just diss me on your album?" Hey, somebody give me that instrumental because I'm going at him on the same beat. I want the same beat.
But it got quiet after that. So I guess you did what you needed to.
They had to. Yeah, they called. They said, "Hey, are you serious? Because you saying a lot on that record." And we're like, "Listen, bro, are you serious?
Yeah.
Let me know, because I'm responding." The reaction was just louder than the action because it was that jam packed.
But I'm saying, but what was it about this that made you respond? Because you're not the type to even acknowledge that.
Yeah, I think it's because I was like building my brand. Your favorite song. It's my
Right.
label. You know, it's what I worked hard for. You know, in this game, you got to stand for something. You know, or you fall for anything. So when he was like, "Yeah, your favorite song," saying it on his records, I'm like, yo. And especially I was just like, yo, is he taking my tag? Like, am I tripping? You know, did one of the little videos, play mine, play his.
But it's trademarked, right?
And yeah, it's trademarked. But I still was like, yo, you're not gonna be saying my tag, bro.
Did you hit him with
Like,
that bill though? Like, can't
no,
you? Oh.
I hit him with them bars. That's all I needed to do, and you know, it was quiet.
Man, well, I'm glad you handled that, and that it didn't go far, because you know sometimes people hit below the belt, and next thing you know it's a big deal, and it started off real small. So
yeah, no, it was kind of like a thing where we squashed it though. You know, it was like a verbal, like, hey, we gonna chill. They was like, we gonna chill. You know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just respond, just so you know, don't ever do that again.
Oh, responded first for sure. Video, everything.
Well, I'm excited for you. I always listen to your projects, and
Thank you.
You're just a natural at this. You can tell this is what you love and what you do. You're a phenomenal songwriter. Obviously, you have the plaques to prove it.
Yeah.
And let's just go through some of the hits that you made for other people. Like, just drop the names for those who might not be aware.
Yeah. Man, so I think the person I work with most is probably Chris Brown over the years. And the last album, Breezy, I had 5 co-writes on that one. So you got like Psychic, Iffy, oh man, it's like, Cab. I be trying to remember it.
Because you write so many.
Yeah, and then like album before that, Indigo. I wrote Indigo.
Oh my goodness.
The intro, Temporary Lover on that one.
So, okay, and I digress. Indigo is about chakras, right?
Yeah, we broke it down. He was like, yo, the album is just about, it's called Indigo, and, it's real colorful. I don't got an intro.
But I love the theme. You could tell that it was very well pieced together.
Oh, yeah.
And you knew where you wanted to go with it.
Oh, yeah, man. I think Chris has a Rolodex of songwriters in his, phone that he can call when it comes to any song, and I look at it like he's going to call who he feels will be the best person for the type of style he wants on each song. You know what I mean? So if it's about this, he may call this person. If it's about that, he may call that person. But anytime it's like a high frequency type song, or chakras, or being in alignment, or something high frequency, positive vibes, he always reach out,
You already know.
I'm glad that I get the call for that, because that's what I exude. That's who I am. And I feel like when we come together, it's always magic.
Yes, it says a lot about you and who you are. High frequency only. So would you say, like, when you're in the studio, he's one of your favorites to work with, or is there somebody that as soon as you get in there is like, yo, we already finishing each other's sentences?
Yeah, definitely one of the favorites. Usher is another one. Like Chris and Usher, them is like my favorites. So working with Usher especially, that's when I can be like, with Chris, it's more so like, we experiment. Who knows? Usher's a more traditional artist, like R&B. You feel me? Like, or whatever the record is, it's gonna be mainstream. Like, it's just gonna be crazy. And I studied Usher growing up. Like, that's who I got the sauce. You feel me from? So when I'm working with him, I'm diving into. Like, watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? Like, what you taught me without being in the teacher mode, but by being in the great mode.
Listen, the man's catalog just goes and goes and goes. It's like the Energizer Bunny. One of the best songwriters. I feel like they should have a songwriter versus, and you would slay.
I want to do it.
Maybe you should do it.
I should.
Let's kick it off.
Because they talking about 20 joints. Oh,
listen,
we got those.
You might need to up it. Maybe it's 40. Maybe
it
this
might
time,
need to be 40. 20 songs by the written catalog, 20 songs by Eric Bellinger, the artist catalog. I'll battle myself.
That part.
At this point.
Listen, Eric, you've always been a blast. What do you want to say
Thank
to your
you.
fans before we let you go?
Man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for making me feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm right in alignment. Like nothing is missing. Like nothing is missing. And I think that's because the fans, like the people that I make music for, they let me know we hear you. They let me know we appreciate you. And, if people would focus more on the people that were focused on them, they would feel more complete.
Oh, that's what we doing? Write that down. All right.
You feel
Got
me,
a
though?
word. That's a word from E.
You feel me?
EB. Let's go.
You feel me? I'm gonna focus on everybody that's not focused on me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna feel underrated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel like I ain't doing nothing. But it's all about, your angle and your perspective.
The fan base is there and it's strong.
Oh,
They
they in
show
the building.
up to your
Bellringers,
concerts.
I
They
love
know.
y'all. Big energy, meet and greets wrapped around the corner. Oh, staying after for the shows, singing the words, bringing me gifts, wearing extra special T-shirts. I'm like, where did you get these T-shirts? Everybody be coming with Eric the buttons, and I'm like, man, underrated wear. We outside.
More blessings to you.
Thank you
man.
so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching WBLS.